Sometimes being an entrepreneur feels like you're dating someone who won't text you back. You're grinding, pitching, throwing money into ads, and all you get from the universe is delivered but not read. Deals aren't closing, growth is slower than dial-up internet in 1998. You're sitting there like, is this punishment for tweeting about hustle culture? But let me tell you something. Waiting isn't punishment. It's the boot camp. It's the glow-up phase that every successful entrepreneur has to go through before their breakthrough. Let's talk about the yes. As an entrepreneur, it's the high that we're all chasing. You land the client, you close the deal, or you finally hit that revenue target, and suddenly you're posting, "We're so grateful, hard work pays off, hashtag entrepreneur life." But let's be honest, a yes doesn't teach you anything. It's a win, but it's not where the growth happens. I know someone who scaled too fast after a big yes. They closed a massive deal, but didn't have the infrastructure to handle it. And guess what? The deal turned into a nightmare. The employees were stressed, clients were mad, and it almost tanked the whole business. A yes is a dessert. It's sweet, but it does not feed you. The real lessons come from the other answers. Now let's get into the no. No one likes hearing it. A no feels like the universe is just flipping you off. But think about this. How many times has a no saved you from a disaster? You're chasing a big client, spending weeks customizing proposals, scheduling meetings, losing sleep, and they ghost you. Brutal, right? Then 6 months later, you find out they pay late, overwork their vendors, and have the energy of that "we need to talk" text. That no saved you from a train wreck. A no isn't rejection. It's protection. It's the universe saying you're better off without this one. Every no is a redirection to something better. You didn't see it in the moment, but when you look back, you'll thank your lucky stars you didn't land that deal. Now let's talk about the worst phase, waiting. Waiting as an entrepreneur feels like you're building IKEA furniture with no instructions. You're working, you're sweating, and nothing seems to fit. Here's what no one tells you. The waiting room is where all the important shit happens. Let's say you're pitching investors and no one's biting. It's easy to feel stuck. But what if this pause is actually giving you time to refine your pitch, to get crystal clear on your business model, to fix those back-end systems so when the funding does come through, you're ready to scale without falling apart? The waiting room isn't a pause. It's a prep. Here's what's really happening. You're building resilience to handle bigger challenges. You're learning patience because, trust me, you're going to need it. You're shaping your strategy so that when the door finally opens, you're not scrambling to figure it out. Waiting isn't what's happening to you. It's what's happening for you. Sustainable growth isn't sexy, but it's necessary. In business, the waiting room shows up as deals taking forever to close, slow scaling when you want to go faster, a pivot that feels like a step backwards. Here's the thing. Entrepreneurs are addicted to speed, but speed without direction is chaos. I know a founder who blew $150,000 trying to scale too quickly without fixing their core offer. They hired too fast, overpromised, and the whole thing just collapsed. If they'd slowed down and mastered their systems, they'd have been unstoppable. Sometimes the slowness is exactly what saves you. It's forcing you to get your shit together. So when the growth comes, it's sustainable. Next time you feel stuck, remember this. The universe isn't ghosting you. It's upgrading you. Think of it like baking a cake. You don't scream at the oven, "Hurry up!" Success is like a cake. It takes time. And if you pull out too early, you're left with a half-baked mess that nobody wants. The waiting room isn't punishment. It's prep. It's shaping you into the kind of entrepreneur who doesn't just get the glow up, but keeps it. So stop rushing the process. Let the waiting teach you what you need to learn. Let the no protect you from the bad deals. And when the yes comes, make sure you're ready to scale like a pro. Because when the success finally hits, it's going to hit harder than you ever imagined. You're not stuck. You're growing. The glow up is on its way. And when it lands, you'll finally understand why it took so damn long.